This is Chapter 2, Part B. We can also select using the Magic Wand tool. That's the third tool down on the toolbar. To select all objects in a document that have the same attributes, like a color fill. The fill is a color applied to the inside of an object. You can customize the Magic Wand tool to select objects based on options like stroke weight, stroke, color, and even more by double-clicking the Magic Wand tool in the Tools panel. You can also change the tolerance or range used to identify similar objects. So I'm going to now get the Select tool and click in a blank area of the small artboard on the right. That makes this the active artboard. I'm going to go to View, Fit Artboard in Window, and I'm going to select the Magic Wand tool and click on one of the red circles on the artboard. And notice that it selected the other red circle as well. There's no bounding box because the Magic Wand tool is still active. If I hold down the Shift key, you can see that my Magic Wand tool now has a plus sign next to it. If I click on one of the orange shapes below, and then I release that plus key, it's adding all of the shapes that are filled with the same orange color and that same stroke to the selection. With that Magic Wand tool still selected, if you hold down the Option or on the Mac or the Alt button on, or Alt key, sorry, rather on the Windows, you'll see that there's a minus sign that comes up next to the pointer. If I click on the orange shape, any of the orange shapes to deselect it, it deselects all of the shapes that have that same fill. All I need to do is release that Alt or Option key, and I get my regular Magic Wand again. The red circles are still selected, and all I need to do is go to Select, Deselect, and nothing will be selected again. We can also select similar objects based on similar fill color, stroke weight, and more using the Select Similar Options button or the Select Same command. The stroke of an object is the outline or the border, and the stroke weight is the width of that stroke. So now we're going to select some objects with the same fill and stroke applied. So here I'm going to pick up the Selection tool, and I'm going to select one of the red circles again. And now I'm going to click the arrow to the right of the Select Similar Objects button up here in the end of the control panel. That's going to bring up a menu, and it's going to say All, Fill Color, Stroke, Fill and Stroke, and so on. And I am going to select Fill Color, which is going to select all the objects on the artboard that I have active that have the same fill color, red. The circles with the same red colored fill are both selected. So to select one of the orange shapes next, then I'm going to go up and choose to select same fill and stroke color, or rather same fill and stroke color, and it selects all of the orange colored shapes. So if you know that you may need to reselect a series of objects again, like the orange objects, you can save that selection so you can recall it later. And that's what we're going to do next. We've got those orange shapes selected, so now we're going to go Select, Save Selection. Now we're going to give this a name. I'm going to call it Robot Mouth. And I'm going to say OK to that. And now we'll be able to choose this selection at a later time. You can either click off to the side to deselect, or you can go up and do select deselect. By default, Adobe Illustrator displays all the artwork with the paint attributes like the fill and stroke showing. But you can choose to display the artwork so that only its outlines or paths are visible. The next method for selecting involves viewing artwork in outline mode, and this can be very useful if you want to select objects within a series of stacked objects. So we're going to go to View, Fit Artboard in Window, and now with the selection tool, I want to click on this half gray circle that's, or half circle gray shape that's at the bottom. And this is going to be the body of the robot. The shape has a fill, it's got a color, it's got a gradient that's filling the inside. Anything that has a fill, you can click anywhere within the bounds of the object to select it. To deselect, you can click to the side, or you can do select deselect. Now we're going to go View, Outline. With the selection tool now, if I try to click on the fill, I can't do it. You can't select the object using this method. When you're in outline mode, it displays the artwork only as the outlines with no fill. And to select an outline, I can either click directly on the edge to select, or I can drag a marquee across the object to make a selection. Now, I'm going to click the Previous Artboard button, which is in the lower left-hand corner of the document window, right down here. And I'm going to go Previous, and that's going to give me the robot. And around here on this one, I'm going to drag a marquee across the right ellipse, the smaller one, that makes the robot's eyes. Now I'm going to press the left arrow on my keyboard a few times to move the ellipse over so that it almost touches the one on the left. Illustrator makes it easy to align or distribute multiple objects relative to each other, the artboard, or a key object. In this section, we're going to explore the different options for aligning objects. And let me go back up to View and go back to Preview. The simplest type of alignment is aligning objects to each other, and that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go up to Select, and I'm going to select my robot mouth, which is going to select the orange shapes. I want to go to the next artboard again. That's going to send me back to the artboard with the shapes on it. And next I'm going to drag a marquee around with my zoom tool, sorry. With my zoom tool, they are already selected. I'm going to zoom in on them. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick Align to Selection from the Align To button, which is located across on the top of the control panel. Align To, you can select Align to Selection, Align to Key Object, or Align to Artboard. We're going to choose Align to Selection. And now I'm going to click the Vertical Align Bottom button that's across here. Vertically align bottom, right there. And that's going to slide everything down so that it's even at the bottom. It moves to align with whichever one was the lowest orange object. I can undo, and right now we're going to leave those objects selected for the next section. What we're going to do is pick a key object. It's an object that you want the other objects to align to. You specify a key object by selecting all the objects you want to align, which is what we have right now. Let me collapse my magic wand. In fact, I'm going to close that. And then you click the key object one more time. I need to get my selection tool to do that. When that's selected, the key object gets a thicker outline. And then the Align to Key Object icon is going to appear in the Control panel and the Align panel. So next we're going to align those orange shapes. So my orange shapes are still selected, but now I'm going to click that one that's all the way on the end with the selection tool. Do you see how you get a thick blue outline that indicates that the leftmost shape is the key object that all the others are going to align to? Now, if I click the vertical align top button, that's this one, in the align options in the control panel, all the orange shapes now move to align to the top edge of that key object. So now we're going to deselect, and the next thing we're going to do is align anchor points using the align options. Just like setting a key object in the previous section, we can also set a key anchor point that other anchor points will align to. We're going to go to View, Fit Artboard in Window, and I'm going to take my Direct Selection tool and click the lower left point of the gray half circle. Then I'm going to Shift click to select the lower right point of the same piece, and I selected the points in that specific order because the last selected anchor point becomes the key anchor point, and all the other points will align to this point. So now I'm going to click the vertical align top button in the control panel, and the first anchor point should align to the second anchor point. And it does. And now I'm going to deselect by clicking to the side.